So I probably won't give y'all the news for last week. I'll just wait until this weekend to probably just cover the news. I haven't really covered it because there's just been some shootings that happened. Luckily for the shootings, all the shootings that happened, a lot of those have been non-life threatening injuries, so that's a good thing. And I mean, I just wanted to give something else. I wanted to keep my promise when I made that Jabri Bryant video. At the end, I said I was going to make a video about one of my friends that was killed. His name was Nicholas King, and I actually knew him in high school. He attended Herschel V. Jenkins High School. That's the high school that's on Duran Avenue. That's like the east side. And he attended that school. He graduated with me. And Jenkins, that's the mascot. That's the Warriors. And he was a real funny guy. He was always energetic, always cracking jokes. He was a cool dude. I believe he was originally from Savannah, and after when he graduated from Jenkins, I believe he stayed in Savannah for a year. Then he moved to Brunswick, and I believe he lived in Brunswick for about 3 years until he actually died. But I know he used to come back to Savannah, come back to Savannah just to travel back and forth, because from Savannah to Brunswick, you got to go down on I-95, and that's about 45-50 minutes to get to Brunswick. Now, this incident actually happened in Brunswick. It happened on a street called Albany Street, Tuesday night, October the 14th, 2014, about 10:40 p.m., where the officers responded to gunfire, and when they arrived to the scene, they found Nicholas James King behind the wheel of a Volvo wagon that was rammed into a duplex. Now, the police believe that at some point he was shot. He drove the car in reverse across the street into the duplex, so he actually was trying to back out and get away from the shooters. And they said that he was shot with a 9mm handgun. The two residents that live at that duplex at the time, they wasn't there currently at the time. I believe they were out and about. And the guy that was doing the interview about his house being wrecked, he said he was thankful because he actually have a 1-year-old, and that 1-year-old could have been actually inside that house. And I guess where that car hit was like where the room that the baby would have been staying in. Now, in this shooting, they're not saying what drug was involved with the transaction. Probably was no drug. I mean, you have, like I said, with my Jabri Bryant case, sometimes it's not even the real thing. Sometimes it's just a robbery. And I just felt like it probably was a robbery that just went wrong. They probably told him, yeah, we had some good stuff, and just a planned robbery. I feel like that's what happened. And the guys that actually did the shooting, they got the 4 guys. They arrested them, but they also was a gang sweep. They arrested 16 people in total with the whole Gangster Disciple set. The 4 people that was arrested in connection to his murder was Christopher Deshaun Young, Aaron Bernard Clark, Christopher Emmanuel Williams, and Willie James Ford Jr. They were all arrested on charges of conspiracy to commit murder, malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, and violation of the Georgia Street Gang and Terrorism Prevention Act. And they all were sentenced for this crime. I believe Christopher Young, he received 24 years. Now, it's important to note that what I'm reading from what it says, what the U.S. District Attorney had said, it was saying that Aaron Bernard Clark was like the leader of the GD set, and he actually got more time than Young, because Aaron Bernard Clark, he got 25 years for the whole thing. And it's like how they pronouncing it, it's like they're saying Aaron Clark said, like Aaron Clark was like the leader of some of these GDs. And I kind of wanted to answer a question for like a YouTuber that I watch personally in Chicago. I watch Chicago World News. I'm a big fan of his, and what he said in one video is like, gangs up north really have no structure, no leadership. All the gangs up there in Chicago, what he was saying, that gangs up there didn't have no type of structure at all. Gangs down here are a little bit different. Gangs in Georgia, like Atlanta is heavy with the whole gang thing. Second to that will probably be Macon, and then Savannah, because you know Macon, they have a whole bunch of gangs out there as well. But in like when you reach Brunswick, when you reach Statesboro, when you reach Savannah, you know Savannah all those places have gangs, and majority of those, some things that I like I'm seeing now personally, I've seen like the GDs are like kind of growing. Like I remember when I worked at my old job back in Port Wentworth, I know there was a few GDs that used to work out there at my old job, because they was trying to do like a work program for prisoners, like a halfway house type thing. So I mean, I know there's GDs across, you know, Georgia, and I say all that because the assistant U.S. attorney Charlie Bourne made a really weird request. You know, normally when they prison somebody, they try to put that person like close to, like really in the state or close to the state where they was originally arrested in. But in the case for Clark, they want him to be in prison west of the Mississippi River, so he can have no influence on the streets where he ran his gang. And I've never like heard of somebody even doing that before. Like you were sentenced in Brunswick, but we're gonna send you like way out there, like way west of the Mississippi River. I mean, which is a good thing. They don't want, basically they did that because they don't want him to influence other members near Georgia, because the GDs in Georgia they have like a real good stronghold. And one of the other people, Christopher Emmanuel Williams, he was sentenced to 47 months in prison. And some, like when they really had all the information on these guys. They had wiretaps on them that had them saying that they was going to sell crack cocaine and other drugs to other people in the city and other places. And I mean, they had everything on. I mean, they had a good case on these guys since late 2014. Now, they had his funeral on October the 25th, 2014 at the 2nd and Arnold Baptist Church on East 37th Street. And I didn't want to make this too long, because I know I made my other video too long, but I just want to point out that, you know, like I said, when you're doing deals with people that you're not too familiar with, or people that's even in the gang, I mean, things can go left all the time. In fact, if you know somebody that's in the gang, man, just turn away from them. I mean, it's not even important to even get involved with them, because they owe more loyalty to their gang than you. And it's really fucked up that my friend run out like this. You know, he was just a funny guy, really funny, man. I remember all the jokes he said like it was yesterday. And you know, he would have been my age. He would have been 24, you know, if he was still living. But he died at 22. But you know, just to let you know, man, it don't matter where you go in Georgia. You know, you always got to be aware of yourself. And Brunswick is a rough place to go to in general. A lot of people don't like going to Brunswick. Brunswick is probably almost as bad as Effingham when it comes to like the drugs. Effingham don't really have gangs like that, but I know Brunswick has gangs. But you know, both of those cities have like a lot of drug addicts. Like when you go to Brunswick, man, that's what a lot of people complain about. Like, there's so many drug addicts in Brunswick. People complain about going to Brunswick and they have to like go to a Walmart, and they see crack addicts out there just begging for change, just, you know, all that other type of stuff. So just be really aware of your surroundings, man. You never know when your time is going to happen. You know, everybody's going to die in this world, unfortunately, but you don't want to get taken out by somebody else's hands. You know, I'd rather go out by God's way, not by somebody else. But that's all I really have right now. It's Pac-Man Jones with Savannah Seaport News, and I'm out.